The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, this is TVWAN News. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, PNG losing billions in alluvial mining revenue. Abung Andapa Botibam's first English teacher, and Broncos sign on younger codes for 2026. Ismail Toroma has retained his seat as president of the autonomous region of Bougainville for a second term. Toroma was declared on Friday afternoon, September 26th at Hujena United Church Counting Center in Buka by Regional Returning Officer Machulen Butu. He had polled 90,448 votes on the first preference or the primary count to be declared. Toroma polled past the absolute majority of 69,447. Prime Minister James Marape congratulated Toroma and extended his warm regards on behalf of the government and people of Papua New Guinea, acknowledging the trust and confidence that the people of Bougainville have once again placed in President Toroma. Papua New Guinea loses 1.5 billion kina annually in revenue from the alluvial mining sector. Stanley Nekitel, Executive Manager of the Mineral Resources Authority, revealed this today during the Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Sector Reform and Service Delivery hearing in Port Moresby.
The hearing by the Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Sector Reform and Service Delivery today highlighted the need for urgent reforms to enhance revenue collection and improve the management of natural resources. The committee, upon hearing of a substantial amount of money the country is missing in the alluvial mining sector, raised concerns highlighting issues such as regulatory inefficiencies, inadequate oversight, and a lack of formalization within the sector.
MRA, we are the regulator of the law. We don't create law, Parliament creates law. We just regulate the law as it is.
Does your organization have an entity that would say, we're looking at these figures and we're very concerned that something's not adding up. So we're going to send a team to find out what's going on. Was that a consideration ever by your organization?
Alluvial mining, which often involves small-scale operations, plays a crucial role in many local economies, but it can also result in environmental degradation and missed opportunities for the government to benefit from this sector. Such loss of a substantial amount of revenue could have widespread implications for public services and infrastructure development in PNG.
If the state owns this gold, as the law says, then someone is cheating us out of what the state is rightfully entitled to under the law.
Addressing these issues could involve implementing stricter regulatory frameworks, encouraging the formal registration of alluvial miners, and improving tax collection mechanisms. Additionally, fostering a partnership between the government and local communities involved in alluvial mining could promote sustainable practices and ensure that a fair share of revenues is directed back into local development.
We DBS and provincial government, we are signing MOU with the Cocoa Board, CIC, Coffee Industry Corporation. I'm wondering, is MRA and SIPA signing any MOU or MOA with DBAs and provincial governments to delegate some functions?
efforts to reform this sector may also need to focus on providing training and resources to miners to transition towards more sustainable practices, ensuring the economic benefits are maximized while reducing negative environmental impacts.
To break the law, you got to go. You don't need to stay here.
Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Papua New Guinea is set to be grey-listed in February 2026 due to issues in its financial systems and regulatory frameworks in a serious matter. Central Bank's Financial Analysis and Supervision Unit Director Wilson Onea revealed this today during the Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Sector Reform and Service Delivery hearing in Port Moresby.
Being placed on the Financial Action Task Force grey list can have significant ramifications for a country, including increased scrutiny from international financial institutions and potential challenges in attracting foreign investment. Central Bank's Financial Analysis and Supervision Unit Director Wilson Onea highlighted during the hearing with the Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Sector Reform and Service Delivery the urgent need for reforms to enhance the country's anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing measures. Grey listing usually indicates that a country has deficiencies in its compliance with international standards, which can lead to higher costs for transactions and difficulties for businesses operating in or trading with PNG. The government will need to take proactive steps to address the underlying issues that led to this impending grey listing. Actions may include strengthening regulatory frameworks, enhancing the capacity of related institutions, conducting comprehensive risk assessments, and fostering transparency in financial transactions. Moreover, engaging with international partners to improve compliance measures and adherence to global standards will be critical. The consequences of grey listing also extend to public perception, potentially affecting tourism and foreign investment. Therefore, it is imperative for Papua New Guinea to prioritize reforms in its financial and regulatory landscape to mitigate the impacts of grey listing and work towards regaining a stable standing in the international financial community. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
Remote Dibu Primary School in Middle Ramu, Madang Province, put 50,000 kina funding assistance to good use by building a double classroom in just 4 months. The school was commanded by Madang Provincial Member Ramsey Pariwa, who visited the school in April this year and presented the school with the funds. Pariwa returned to Dibu on September 18th, 3 days after the 50th independence anniversary, to officially open the new infrastructure. Teachers Services Commission official Kenneth Kalai accompanied Pariwa to Dibu. He told the school's management that he will ensure that Dibu Primary is registered under the National Department of Education so that it receives government assistance, including the tuition fee-free funding. She is one of the Morobe's first English teachers during the pre-independence era, when it was rare to see women work for a living or even hold leadership roles. Her white hair tied back in a bun, 84-year-old Andapa Carlos' eyes sparkled as she walked down memory lane to recall the best years of her life.
84-year-old Andapa Carlo, who described herself as original Butiba Mary, is one of 2 first female English teachers from the 6 Ahi villages of Morobe province. Her close friend and peer, Matuawi Stafford Guare, was the other teacher who, sadly, passed away at the age of 85 on August 13, 2025. Commonly known as Abung or grandmother, Andapa and late Abung Matu started their education at the Yabim Tokple School in 1948.
Na finish on 1952, 4 years paso. Okay, 53. All blata taso man taso blata from mitupla. Like go down on Dregahafen, to mitupla one them all.
Abung Andapa and her best friend moved to the Dregahafen area school in Finschhafen in 1953 to do their grade 7. They stayed at what is now the Dregahafen Technical Secondary School until 1956.
Mitupla finish, 57, mitupla go popon data, teacher's college. Mitupla work in 1 year course. And from 57, first transfer from Mitupla and from Gatman compound. Mitupla got teach from Gatman compound. That's a school of what is day school. Mitupla teaching and Mama from John Rosolia and Mitupla line from that's what happened. Mitupla start yet long hard. Now waiting new classroom from or working from Bougainville school. Now I'm road, start on road there, bus stop on there. Finish on this building now, multiply go. Teach long hard. That's a time I'm colonial time. Hard to math, very difficult. Hard to math when you teach one thing. All white man person. You basan prata ni nona feeling isti gupla. That's why Mitupla strong. Mitupla teach one thing all on Bougainville school. Now, from 1960. From 1960, Mitupla teach na joining Cub Scout. One plan Mrs. Secretary from courthouse. Membrane orange pensa kan kisi Mitupla I got joining and long walking little walk from Cub Scout lining or white man Picanini or mistress Picanini long. Lighting north, lighting paya, suppose lighting triple paya na paya light and all pass.
Abung Andapa and her best friend went on to teach at the Bougainville Primary School. They were wholly involved in community activities, teaching their peers arts and crafts as well as how to play netball, bringing the sport to the other districts of Morobe as well as to Madang province. They established women's groups and councils after PNG achieved self-governance to ensure women's voices are represented at the local and provincial government level. She finally retired in 1996 after 38 years of teaching. Kamala Guare, TVWAN News, Ley.
Governor Pariwa made his inaugural visit as provincial member to Tep Primary School on Friday, September 26th. The visit was provoked by constant requests by the school board and management to restore deteriorating facilities. The provincial member for Madang presented the school with a cheque of 500,000 kina to address these challenges. It will also help the school prepare for junior high school status. The governor was also able to identify other challenges like better road conditions for coffee farmers to access markets. He also presented the Awareness Coffee Farmers Cooperative Society a 20,000 kina cheque to support their business venture. Tep Government Station is in Ward 7 of Nayudo LLG in Madang's Rai Coast district. Locals were eager to see the governor and gave him a rousing traditional welcome. You're watching TV1 News. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Stay with us.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
Magic Golden Ticket Promotion e-come back. Now by Pennies long 30th November 2025. Tiny Magic Golden Ticket blong you, long winning share blong 500,000 kina inside long packet magic chicken or beef noodles. All prizes start 50,000 kina, 20,000 kina, 1,000 kina, na 500 kina. Open packet blong magic noodles na Tiny Golden Ticket blong come up winner. No can wait. Buy magic noodles now.
We've been traveling along this road together for over 50 years. Ella Motors acknowledges the visionaries and hard work that have been the driving strength to continued nation building. We live, prosper, sustainably grow with the community, whilst developing quality mobility chains, aspiring to be your first choice on every occasion. Ella Motors, celebrating with Papua New Guinea throughout our independence golden jubilee.
PNG's favorite soft drink now in bottles. Goldspot brings you fresh, bold flavors in brand new 500ml bottles. Taste the rainbow. More freshness, more flavor, more fun. Lime, orange, raspberry, and pineapple. Proudly made in PNG. Proudly Goldspot.
Cold Power Citrus Blast uses stain-fighting active particles to remove dirt, grease and stains from your family's washing with less scrubbing and rubbing, reducing wear and tear and saving you time. Cold Power Citrus Blast has an amazing citrus fragrance that gives that extra freshness that will last all day long.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot and talk, young or old, a scale-raised family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite one minds. Send it to call us, scale rise, don't scale price. Send it to call us, scale rise, don't scale price. And but you like it.
Blind side and is celebrating a try.
Thanks for staying with us on TV1 News. An information session was hosted for media personnel by the United States Deputy Chief of Mission to Papua New Guinea, Alex Berenberg, today. The meet was aimed at helping local media understand the structure of the United States government and its daily operations around the world. Berenberg shared insights of U.S. political structure and how U.S. functions its state and federal government bodies that interconnected to increase its presence around the world and the Pacific.
Members of the media met with United States Deputy Chief of Mission to Papua New Guinea, Alex Berenberg, today for an information session. It was interactive and informative for the journalists who attended. The United States has a huge presence around the world and across the Pacific region, which includes financial support for capacity building programs in areas including education and health. Running under the form of government as constitutional federal republic, the world's powerful economy shares power between its national and state governments. This means that all U.S. government officials are elected by its citizens. They also operate under the principle of the separation of powers and checks and balance.
It switches a little bit based on every president's specific desires and goals for their policy for the United States. So on this sheet here are some of the most common people who are featured on the cabinet. These agencies are headed up by people who are selected by the president. So these are people that he or she would trust very much, and then they are confirmed by Congress as an exercise of that separation of powers and checks and balances to make sure that Congress agrees this is an individual who will act in good faith for the American.
U.S. presence in Papua New Guinea is also a result of key collaboration between agencies in the President's cabinet in providing development assistance in developing countries. Also, in strengthening diplomatic ties with Pacific Island countries. Berenberg emphasized one key area the U.S. focuses on, and that is ensuring the bilateral relationship with other countries is a strong economic and defense partnership. One recent bilateral trying is the 2023 Defense Cooperation Agreement between PNG and U.S. that sets forth a framework for enhanced partnership and security.
Look at our bilateral relationship under three different lines of effort or three different buckets. Firstly, a strong economic and defense partnership, which we are working to grow. That means trade and investment, commercial ties, business, etc. People-to-people ties, which is what we're doing today, engaging with the people of Papua New Guinea, moving throughout the country, meeting people, learning about your culture, sharing our culture, working exchange programs, educational opportunities in the United States, and bringing American visitors here to this great country.
The U.S. continues to expand its reach in the region in providing development assistance. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN News.
A unique Australian government-supported partnership is helping PNG cocoa farmers, processors and exporters derive greater benefit from the trade. The approximate PNG Kina 1.2 million initiative will boost quality cocoa production in Central Province and strengthen the supply for local producers to better meet demand in the lucrative Australian and New Zealand markets. The project is being driven by Paradise Foods Queen Emma Chocolate in cooperation with Frontier Primary Produce Limited, operating out of Kuriva. Cocolands Development Limited near Moreguina and Amazon Cocoa Cooperative in Abao. 3 extension officers will train smallholder farmers in advanced cocoa block management techniques, husbandry practice and processing. On Wednesday, September 24th, at a private dockyard in Motukea, Port Moresby, MV IBK made its first trip. On board the vessel were food supplies and building materials. MV IBK is named after 3 key local-level government areas in Gulf Province, Ihu, Baimuru and Kikori. The barge was purchased in July 2025 by the Kikori District Development Authority to address critical transport needs.
The people of Ihu, Baimuru and Kikori in the Gulf Province are often faced with the difficulty of traveling in rough seas to reach Port Moresby via Kerma. However, reaching Kerma still remains a challenge for many in bad weather. The recent surge in rough weather has seen delays in the delivery of food, medical supplies and fuel to inland station, particularly affecting communities that rely heavily on regular maritime access. The vessel will become a critical lifeline for communities in the 3 LLGs. Despite the bad weather, MV IBK arrived safely in Ihu on Friday, September 26. On board the barge were building materials that were delivered to Maria United Church. The church plays a vital role not only in spreading the gospel, but also in housing and assisting people living with disability. The building materials will be used to improve their facilities. Getting assistance was also the Ihu High School after being hit hard with food shortages in Term 3. The rations come on time for boarders and the grade 10 students who will be sitting for their exams in a few weeks. After leaving Ihu on the weekend, MVIBK made its presence along the deltas of Kikori and Baimuru, where the vessel was met with a huge welcome ceremony. The Baimuru leg will include Kapuna on Wednesday. Member for Kikori and Minister for Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs, Sora Yoi, said the vessel will now operate as a passenger ship and at the same time help in the delivery of projects. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
Founder and chairlady of the Miss Bed of Paradise Papua New Guinea pageant, Anna Bai, signed a memorandum of agreement with Tanya Nugent, CEO of the Enga Provincial Tourism Bureau, to officially welcome Enga as the 9th province to join the platform. Enga is the first from the Highlands region. Both MBOP and the Enga pageant team emphasized that the platform would allow the daughters of Enga to develop themselves as young women leaders while uplifting disadvantaged children, particularly those living with disabilities, through education and advocacy. Speaking at the event, Ms. Baez commended the brave women of Enga and acknowledged the partnership with the Enga Provincial Tourism Bureau and the government. The MBOP-PNG committee extended its best wishes to the Enga team as they prepare for their inaugural Miss Bed of Paradise Enga pageant. And now a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2389 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2314 US, $0.3506 Australian dollars, $0.1896 euro, and 34.26 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, copra, and crude oil closed higher. Cocoa and copper closed lower, and palm oil closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with BSP's One Talk Wallet. BSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
Magic Golden Ticket Promotion e-come back. Now by Pinis long 30th November 2025. Piny Magic Golden Ticket belong you, long winning share belong 500,000 kina inside long packet magic chicken or beef noodles. All prizes start 50,000 kina, 20,000 kina, 1,000 kina, na 500 kina. Open packet belong magic noodles na Piny Golden Ticket long come up winner. No can wait. Buy magic noodles now.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. One Talk Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this One News.
Alongside government ministers, their leaders eager to engage with potential investors and grow the Māori economy.
Most crossed the ditch, moving to Australia. How worried should other supermarkets be, Cathy?
If it's put forward as being a deal, it needs to be a deal.
Quality will improve, the volume will be maintained.
And that's what we wake up each day trying to do. So we'll bring you details and analysis.
One News.
Welcome back. Turning abroad, a stampede at a rally for a popular Indian actor and politician has killed at least 36 people and injured 40 others in the country's southern state of Tamil Nadu, local authorities have said. State Chief Minister M.K. Stalin said 8 children and 16 women were among those who died on Saturday at the political rally for Vijay, who is campaigning for election after becoming one of the state's most successful actors. The victims were dead by the time they were taken to a hospital, but the injured were in a stable condition after official State Health Minister Mas Subramanian said. Cathy Freeman's gold medal win at the 2000 Olympics has been relived by many over the past week. 25 years after the historic moment, cameraman Mal Davis treasures the memory for an extra special reason. He fired the gun shot that started a race.
Who could ever forget it? But Mel Davies' memory of Cathy Freeman's famous race is sharper than most, as the man who fired the starting gun.
I recall standing in the tunnel, which where we marched on, as it were, just near the finish line. I like to remember looking at my watch and saying, "Well, I suppose we better go and do this then." And actually, I was not nervous at all.
The rest, as they say, was history. It had been a long road to the Sydney Olympics as Mel Davies built a reputation until he became a Grade 1 starter. To get there, he had to follow strict protocol in perfect time. Blow the whistle, get set, fire. But his first race at the Games didn't start well when his whistle set off the computer linked to the starter's gun, delaying the race.
We learned a quick lesson there. Blow your whistle, but turn away from face the infield.
When it came to the big race, even he was apprehensive, believing Cathy Freeman was losing as he saw the runners round the final corner. And then she was gone, as fast as she arrived.
She didn't get a chance. Even after the race, she was spirited away so quickly through the tunnel with a minder, I didn't even get her autograph.
But that didn't dampen the starter's moment.
Yeah, it was probably the greatest race ever, as far as I'm concerned.
A life spent witnessing history from the starting line.
Optus has apologised for a second service outage in less than 2 weeks, this time affecting a mobile tower in Dapto in New South Wales. The telco said a fault at the mobile tower impacted about 4,500 and at least 12,000 calls were disrupted between 3 a.m. and 12:20 p.m. yesterday. One caller tried to connect to emergency services and was not able to get through, but it has since been confirmed they are okay. Optus has apologized to customers and says it will work with authorities to conduct welfare checks as necessary. Meanwhile, Singtel has awarded a staff bonus precisely 1 week after the initial Optus network outage led to the failure of some 000 calls, which was linked to 3 deaths in Australia. Optus has apologized for a second service outage in less than 2 weeks, this time affecting a mobile tower in the New South Wales Illawarra region. The outage affected calls between 3 a.m. and 12:30 p.m., including calls to the 000 emergency network.
There was a fault at a mobile tower here in Dapto, which caused an outage of its mobile service between 3 a.m. and 12:20 p.m. on Sunday. It said it affected around 4,500 locals who use the service provider, as well as 9 000 calls. The telco said of those callers, 1 who needed an ambulance was able to use another service provider. 4 failed calls triggered welfare checks by police, and they did not need any further emergency service help. And the rest of those calls, they were either accidental or those people were safe. Locals on social media have reported major disruptions at the local shopping mall behind me as businesses were unable to make calls or access the internet. We spoke to a few of those locals here today.
I wasn't able to call anybody. So my sister was in Wollongong and we weren't able to contact her about when she needed to be picked up or anything, which was a bit of an issue.
It's very disappointing to see that that's happened multiple times in such a short span. And even since I've been in Australia, I've heard it from, I think it was like Telstra at one point down south. I've heard of a couple of other outages, and it's just, I don't know if it's an infrastructure issue or if it's a company-wide issue, and it really should be addressed and made more secure.
Service has now been restored. However, Optus has issued an apology for this outage in a statement. This is the second major outage in less than 2 weeks. It follows a failed firewall update which blocked 600 emergency calls and is now being linked to the deaths of 3 people in other states. The Australian Communications and Media Authority has launched an investigation into that matter. We've heard from the federal member for Whitlam, Carol Berry, who has asked Optus for a more detailed timeline as to how this outage occurred. Meanwhile, New South Wales Health Minister and Minister for the Illawarra, Ryan Park, has said that his government are investigating the matter. He said it is very concerning and that his government are working to double check on each of those 000 callers to check that they really are okay. He said while the consequences of this outage aren't as serious as the ones seen a few weeks ago, he said that this does not minimise the seriousness of this situation. He's called on this outage to be included in the communication regulator's investigation to see whether there are any potential links.
Australia's recently released climate impacts report predicts a dramatic rise in heat-related mortality in Australia's north. In the Northern Territory, towns like Tennant Creek are likely to experience 209 days per year over 35 degrees by 2070. But with many community houses which don't meet accepted thermal building requirements, experts worry the NT is not prepared for what's coming.
Marsha Morgan's aunt is in town for medical treatment, but the house is so crowded, there's no space inside.
So we have to just squeeze into a bedroom house, trying to get all the families together, trying to find a cold place.
Each community home in Tennant Creek houses an average 10 people. Wait times for housing in the Northern Territory sit around 10 years. Dudley's family has been waiting 6.
Nowadays, it's something that's changing, you know. Long time, around about 60s, 70s, nice. When it's 4 o'clock, it'll be nice and cool. Not today. All day hot.
As the heat rises, so do health complications.
The kind of things that you'll see is increasing rates of rheumatic heart disease as everybody crowds indoors for a 2-month period to shelter in the one bedroom that's air conditioned. Rheumatic heart disease is entirely caused by overcrowding.
With rheumatic heart fever cases in the NT more than 4 times the national average, there's a push to design houses for the climate of the future.
People are dying because of very poorly performing thermal houses.
Simon Quilty runs the not-for-profit Willia Junta, co-designing homes with local people based on their culture and lifestyle. Plans include air conditioning throughout to prevent crowding in small rooms, a deep veranda to provide shelter from the harsh sun, and more options for visitors. A large breezeway made of local mud bricks, anthills and spinifex, and an outdoor kitchen to avoid adding heat to the house.
Tennant Creek is an opportunity to learn how to live better with this heat and to remind us all that we need to be mitigating our carbon footprint more than ever before right today.
But time, a luxury many don't have.
That ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
Are you ready to meet the best version of yourself? The one with the bright, confident smile? You've got to take pride in how good you look, how fresh your breath smells, and how great you feel. To boss it at work, to be your best for uni, or to catch the eye of that special someone. You've got to brush up your vibe with whiter, healthier, brighter teeth. Brush up for confidence with Colgate.
100% proudly PNG-owned Tassian Group would like to wish you and your loved ones a beautiful Golden Jubilee 50th Independence. Thank you for being a valued part of our community. Let's continue the journey for another 50 years together. Proudly PNG.
Long year 2024, 7 pla baby I born one time HIV. HIV I can go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama I get HIV, long time long carrying baby, na time baby I susu. Tasol Yumi can help him bel mama, long look out him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bel mama clinic, na kiss him antenatal check. Time Yumi pan him sick HIV area, or time bel mama I positive penis, early treatment I can save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV I go long baby. This lutok sawa I come long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Mr. Russell, we must isim signa sa Bougainville.
You survey yourself, you can put in one per complaint.
I'm not giving big the heavy. Online by doctor. No, also one I'm supposed me on that sorry kissing.
You think him go through Sam? You like putting this plus sexual harassment report on Mr. Russell?
Who said you making this black complaint?
Joining BCFW na all member blong ni plan na sanap strong against in workplace harassment.
Toby Sexton dropped.
But this doesn't pull apart their greatest strength.
This is the future. This is the way they want to go.
Why was Harry Grant the right man to take over?
I just thought it was the right thing to do. Obviously, you know, his best position we think is fullback.
Queensland have done the unthinkable.
It was unbelievable emotion. And good on Cameron. Very, very brave to get out there and play.
The newest shows.
Something big's going on.
The biggest stories.
That's what I'm talking about!
Get early access to the best on Rock Entertainment.
Bring it on.
Catch the glam first on TV's Starriest Night.
Can we talk about this look?
Never miss a moment with your favorite agents back in action.
Someone is trying to frame us.
Crack the cases first.
There's a bomb. Everyone out.
We're gonna find whoever did this.
And stay ahead of the hype with the next big thing.
My safe word is Labubu.
Your early access to the best.
That was awesome.
Let's go. On Rock Entertainment.
Thanks for staying with us. In sports, the 2025 Madang Rugby League Grand Final showcased some exceptional local talent, community spirit and sporting excellence. ARC Logistics Royals defeated Pearl Logistics Hawks 20 points to 16 in the senior division to win the competition. The grand final day began with the under-20s clash between the Hawks and the North Raiders from Rivo Village. The contest finished in a nail-biter as North Raiders edged out Hawks 7-6. This fixture set up the platform for the main draw card. The highly anticipated A-grade grand final showdown between ARC Logistics Royals and Pearl Logistics Hawks kicked off in style. The fierce contest, with both teams muscling through the tackles and testing each other's resolve. Fans of both teams enjoyed the encounter as the teams struggled for field possession. The momentum swung back and forth, and neither of them refused to surrender. The match kept fans on edge until final whistle. In a contest marked by grit and determination, Royals emerged victorious over Hawks, clinching the title with a 20 points to 16 victory. Director of Mineral Resources Madang were present and witnessed the grand final. Notable rugby league figures including former Lacenex Tigers coach Stanley Tepend, Northern Confederate Director Robin Iveke, and SP-PNG Hunters 5'8" Joshua Lau were part of the event. MRDC Company Secretary Richard Aupai urged players and supporters to uphold the values of true sportsmanship and stay away from criminal activities. He reminded everyone that the spirit of the game must always be respected and pledged continued support from Mineral Resources Madang Limited for future rugby league activities. Gaman local level government concluded its Madang Governors Cup tournament on a high note during Independence Week. The men played soccer and the women played basketball. Soccer was played for the first time in Gama, much to the delight of the locals who generally prefer rugby league. Gama Sports Association Chairman Vincent Karim said this is the first time such an event has taken place in the remote Gama. They welcomed teams from Middle Ramu and Jiwaka. Gama is locked on the border of Madang and Jiwaka provinces. Meantime, Binak 2 won the soccer grand final. They were presented with the cup and 2,000 kina in cash. Dumuai Dwellers, KO Particles and JRN Singai 2 finished second, third and fourth respectively. In the basketball finals, ADK 1 won the cup and 1,000 kina in cash. TSA KO Particles and ADK 2 finished second and third and fourth respectively. All winners were presented with a trophy and cash prizes. Adam Reynolds nailed a sideline conversion with 3 minutes left to send the Brisbane Broncos into the NRL Grand Final and end Penrith Panthers' dynasty with a 16-14 win at a sold-out Lang Park.
After trailing 14-0 at halftime, Brisbane kept the 4-time defending premiers scoreless in the second while running in tries to Courtney Steggs, Xavier Willison and Dane Marina. Marina's 4-pointer leveled the scores before Reynolds took the kicking tee from Rhys Welch, who missed a far easier shot to convert Willison's 70th minute try. Reynolds, playing his first game back after 7 weeks out with a hamstring injury, stepped up and nailed the game-winning shot from the right sideline to send Brisbane into its second grand final in 3 years. Brisbane faces the Melbourne Storm in the NRL Grand Final at Sydney's Olympic Stadium on Sunday, October 5th, in a contest between the past 2 NRL runners-up. The Storm were the fourth and last team to lose a grand final to Penrith last year, while the Broncos surrendered a 16-point lead to lose the 2023 decider. But this time the tables were turned as Brisbane ran down a 14-point deficit set up by some typically clinical Penrith play that quieted a loud Lang Park. Susan Oreape, TV1 Sports.
Port Moresby Strikers Football Club made the highest recruitment of any other team during the mid-season transfer window of the Oak Teddy Mining Limited Premier Soccer League competition. The Strikers brought in 6 new players in the second half of the competition. Some newly recruited players started immediately by playing on the weekend. They helped the team to victory over Blue Cumuls FC 1-0. Assistant coach Gordon Manoub highlighted that the football club realized the need to add experience and skills to the team to help its competitiveness against top teams in the back end of the season.
We've got Kenneth Meru from Dwellers. We've got Johnson Bele and Hossein Kayo, who's joined the squad, and also Celiao Kamwi from Manu. So we have a good mix of a backline, a midfielder, and forwards. So that we hope will boost our campaign for this second round.
Junior PNG Cumuls outside back Philip Coates has signed with the Brisbane Broncos for the 2026 season. The Broncos signed him on a development contract as an emerging talent. Philip Coates, younger brother of Storm winger Xavier Coates, has been signed by the Brisbane Broncos for the 2026 season on a development contract. The junior PNG Cumuls outside back showed a lot of promise in his debut recently. He was also impressive at the recent Under-19 State of Origin representing Queensland. Philip is expected to join the junior Cumuls in this year's Prime Minister's 13 Challenge.
And playing against the Australians, the result of this match will dictate that in the final main game this afternoon. The junior Cumuls are doing that with 3 minutes before halftime. Wow. Gerard Owens going there for a try.
Joining the Broncos will see the young coach follow his older brother, Xavier, who made his debut with the Broncos before joining the Storm, where he will be making his second grand final appearances against his former club this weekend.
And he ran Gagai down. It was a beautifully read intercept by Dane Gagai. But look where Xavier Coates comes from. He gets around Johnston, and then he picks him up just in time. What about that, Fat?
That's as good as I've seen this year from anyone. He got a little check too at about the 100-metre mark.
The 19-year-old stands at 196 centimeters, weighing over 100 kg. He will be a good addition to the Brisbane Broncos with massive opportunity to gain valuable experience. Meanwhile, Philip is expected to join the Cumuls camp next week ahead of the game. Cooper Bai, son of a rugby league legend, Marcus Bai, is also expected to join the PNG Cumuls camp for the first time. Now the weather forecast. In regional forecast, southern Port Moresby and Kerema, partly cloudy afternoon, evening with possible showers and isolated thunderstorms. Daru and Alotau, cloudy periods with possible rain and thunderstorms. Omase, Lay, partly cloudy periods with rain showers and isolated thunderstorms. Banimo, cloudy periods with rain showers and thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, all centers, partly cloudy periods with possible rain showers and thunderstorms. And Highlands region, all centers, cloudy periods with rain, then nightfall patches. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, sea slight to moderate with southeast to easterly winds of 5 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, sea smooth to slight with south to southeasterly winds of 5 to 50 knots, turning northeast at times. Bismarck Sea, Seas smooth to slight with southeast to northeasterly winds of 5 to 10 knots, and Pacific Ocean. Seas smooth to slight with northeast to easterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. And coastal waters forecast: waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island, Karamayul Island, Hood Point to Samarai Island, seas 0.5 to 2 meters. And waters of Insafen through Vitia Strait to Siasi Long Island to Madang, seas 0.5 to 2.5 meters. And that wraps up the news tonight. Thanks for your company. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by